Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to my ummah, and good afternoon to all my friends and acquaintances and everybody else that's watching. Let me go ahead and fix this. It's kind of like crooked. Yeah. So, this has kind of been on my heart for a while now, and I just wanted to open up about this, and I feel like this will resonate with a lot of people because us as human beings, we tend to get experience anxiety and doubt, you know experiencing some people experience depression and just not knowing how to navigate through our daily obstacles and tests and trials. So just like I said, this video will be how I navigate throughout my life. um, I want to say two key words are patience and perseverance. Patience is something us as human beings we must have because we may plan, a day ahead, a week ahead, a month ahead, years ahead, but we all have to submit to our creator and understand that his plan is way better than ours. So, having patience is, it all comes down to being grateful for what you have. You know what I mean? Because just us being able to breathe in and breathe out, that's a favor from God Himself. So, there's plenty of people out there that, they're on ventilators and they can't breathe and they're on their last breath. You know what I mean? So, like, it's good to always look at things like that, even if you have to watch it or, just so you can remind yourself, you know what I mean, that there's people that will pray to be in your position. You know what I mean? And I feel like patience is something we must have. Otherwise, we'll be anxiety machines. So anything in life can help you build patience. You know what I mean? So what I just started to uh, try and test myself is traffic. You know what I mean? We're all trying to get somewhere, either work, training, to go get some groceries or go get food. You know what I mean? And I use traffic as a test for me to, just stay calm, calm, cool, and collected, and just keep my composure. Because one thing throughout my life is I've tried to build that, just try and ask God to help me keep my composure. Because if you're not able to keep your composure, then this real world, reality is gonna eat you back. It's gonna eat you up and then throw you back out. You know what I mean? Because one of the main things I also try to harp on is to not let anything get me angry. You know what I mean? Because when you get angry, you do stuff that you wouldn't do if you was just in a collected state, like you know how I am right now. Not collected, but in a composed state. Um, because I'm aware of what can happen when anger takes part within your soul. It lowers your vibration and it allows for other entities to um, take a hold of your being and just, I mean, for example, like, say if you're arguing with somebody, you know what I mean, you may say something to hurt that person's feelings, and us as human beings, we tend to remember certain words that are said to us. You know what I mean? So say if I'm arguing with somebody and I'm not able to, arguments happen. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, nobody is perfect. Arguments happen. So say if I've been training for months or years to stay in a composed state, I will, while in that argument, I will have in my mind that, okay, let me be conscious of what I say because this can hurt somebody else's feelings. You know what I mean? And one thing about what I follow is to always be kind to others. You know what I mean? Which is really hard because say if somebody is being arrogant to you, You know what I mean? You got two options: to be in a calm state and, just uh, speak to them in a kind manner, or you can stoop down to their level and lower your vibration and, say aggressive or mean words to them, and which doesn't really solve anything. It can lead to worse things as far as actions. You know what I mean? And one thing that I try to also remember is that anything I do, the way how I carry myself, the way, just anything I do in public, you know what I mean? You're always being watched. You never know who you're being watched by. And one thing I always try to remember is that I represent my parents' last name. You know what I mean? They've had a clean life, you know what I mean? Been married for over 20 years, and uh, they haven't been thrown into the system. You know what I mean? Everything is clean. You know what I mean? So I try and make sure that I keep that name clean, because that's really all we got in this world is you feel me, our mind, our soul, our actions, and our last name. You know what I mean? Nothing is truly really ours, if you want me to be real. Like none of this is ours. It's God's. So um other than being patient, I feel like persevering or perseverance is another key part to um, life. You know what I mean? Like I said in the beginning, a lot of things aren't going to go our way. You know what I mean? We may have this set date to reach success, but, something happens like a injury, or your business ends up failing. You're not getting the income that you want to get. We all have to, just submit to God's plan. You know what I mean? Because He knows better. He's able to look way farther down the road, just like that. You know what I mean? Our time is way different than God's. You know what I mean? And we may be playing for something, and it may not be the best thing for us, for our being and our souls and whatnot. And that's a sign of God's love. If He is willing to stop you from getting somewhere because of how it can be destruction, like literally. Like some people, they get to certain places and they get destroyed. You know what I mean? Fame, the attention and all that can get to their heads, and they start doing things outside of their character. When you start doing things outside of your character, you form a habit to the point where your subconscious mind is literally controlling your life, and you start going down the wrong path. You know what I mean? And one of the main things we want to do in life is make sure we're going down the straight path. You know what I mean? So persevering is very critical. You know what I mean? And that's what I've been having to do my whole life. No matter the amount of blessings you have, there are always going to be trials and tribulations. No matter who you're going, like what you're going through. You know what I mean, I tend to tell people it doesn't matter if you're a millionaire, you got six figures, five, you're broke. You feel me? Um, got a little bit, couple thousand, couple dollars. It doesn't matter. Everybody is dealing with some sort of obstacle, whether it's mentally, physically, spiritually, or financially. Um, but one thing that I know for sure, and it's a saying in the Quran, um, human beings are put to tests and trials in order to wash away our sins. You know what I mean? None of us is perfect. I'm not perfect. We all make mistakes. We all sin. But the most important thing to do after you sin, or right, I would say as soon as possible, is to repent to God, because we're all born sinners. You know what I mean? But we have to make sure to clean off that filth. You know what I mean? It's just like taking a shower. You know what I mean? You've been outside all day, you've been sweating, you got dirt on you, oil on you. You know what I mean? You want to take that shower and make sure you go to sleep before. You want to make sure you're clean before you go to sleep. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as far as us sinning. Like, you shouldn't go to sleep if you had a day where you didn't pile up more good deeds and bad deeds. You know what I mean? And there maybe days that you pile up more bad deeds than good deeds, but you have to make sure before you go to sleep to repent, and throughout the day just repent and remember God throughout your day. Um, so that's another thing that I feel like those are the two things that really can make or break somebody, because if we live with a victim mindset, like, oh, this happened because of him, this happened because of her, you can't play that game. You have to look in the mirror, and every day when you wake up, of course, thank God if you get another day, because a lot of people, they pass away in their sleep. Like, God takes them in their sleep. You know what I mean? So just the simple blessing of being able to wake up and see another day, because I'm not sure of what the statistic is on people who, I'm not sure who the people, I'm not sure what the statistic is that people, how much people die a minute or every 10 minutes, but that number is really high. So just like I said, one of the two main blessings that we have is being able to wake up and being able to breathe, you know, and of course, an add on is shelter. If you have those three things, and a lot of people don't have those three things, but if you have those three things, we should not be complaining about nothing. You know what I mean? Um, Another thing that I try to look at is not too much, but look at the people who look at the people look at the people of Philistine on what they're going through. You know what I mean? They're losing their brothers or sisters or moms or dads, losing their own lives. They don't have shelter. They're going through famine. You know what I mean? Like that is, you know what I mean? It's really tragic and really sad, but I mean, us as human beings have to look at certain things like that and tell yourself that you're blessed, that you're grateful. You know what I mean? That's another way. That's an affirmation, a simple affirmation you can go on throughout your day, saying I'm blessed, I'm grateful. You know what I mean? And that'll help you realize the small things in life. You know what I mean? And not to be drawn to materials, because every single material, you know, they get worn out, tear down, cars, they break down. You know what I mean? You can't attach your heart to materialistic things on this world, because it really don't matter what type of car you drive. Mercedes, Benz, Ferrari, Lamb, we're all the same, and we're supposed to treat others with kindness, and as if we're supposed to treat others how we want to be treated. You know what I mean? If you go and approach life like that, you know, patience, perseverance, kindness, counting your blessings, then you know what I mean, you're gonna live a really good life. Now, with me saying that, it still may not be easy. It may be easy for you. It may not be easy for you. Everybody's life and path is different. You know what I mean? But you just have to make sure that you focus on the little things and not try to get overwhelmed with the bigger picture, because we have to let the bigger picture get taken care of by God. You know what I mean? He created us. We're the most sophisticated beings or creatures or whatever you want to call us on this planet. So if he can make us to look like this, you know what I mean? Because everybody's beautiful in their own way. If he can make us to look like this, then why can't we trust him? You know what I mean? I know a lot of people have seen the statement that we get on the planes, trains, and whatnot, we trusting the pilot or the driver, but at the same time, and we haven't even met him. We just hop on the plane, go to our seats, and just chill. And you know, me obviously, I pray when I get on the plane. Um, but how can we do that but not trust God's plan for us? You know what I mean? Um, so that's the main thing. You know, it's normal to experience anxiety, but you can't let it overwhelm you to then throw you into negative emotions, because when negative emotions seep into your heart and your soul, and that's when you commit actions that you wouldn't do in a calm state. So those are two things that I always try to remind myself. Um, I'm blessed. Extremely blessed. I'm grateful to my Lord. So the next part I want to get to is um, understanding that everybody that comes into your life is also a test. Every day is a test. You know what I mean? Every day that you are granted is a test. You know what I mean? Just like how we people that are in school or was in school, how we prepare for you know tests through study guides and getting the proper sleep and eating the right food and whatnot. It has to be the same way, but more strenuous as far as our daily lives. You know what I mean? Making sure we're saying the right things and doing the right things. And we may not always do the right things, but that should be what we strive to do. You know what I mean? So just understanding that um, that things just won't simply go your way. When you understand that, still be optimistic of the future. But once you understand that, uh, once you understand that you're blessed, grateful, and God's plan for you is way better than your plan, then your life will be amazing. Just I feel like focusing on the good will outweigh the bad because yeah, we're all, naturally as us as human beings, we're able to memorize the bad stuff that happened to us, right? But we can't nearly count the favors of God that He's placed upon our lives. You know what I mean? For an example, shoot, I experienced a 25-inch flood last year. It was about last month around this time, and fast forward a year later, shoot, I get to buy my first car. You know what I mean? I never questioned God about it. Why did this happen to me? I just seen it as, okay, it's just an obstacle, and this is a test to see how I react. You know what I mean? Will I still pray? Will I still be consistent with my prayers? Will I still live as if I'm blessed, or will I just blame others, or be like, oh, what did I do? You know what I mean? Play the victim mindset, or just be mean to others, and just not do the right things and the right actions. You know what I mean? So that's a huge test right there. You know what I mean? Because each day we get to choose: do we want to go up or do we want to go down? You know what I mean? Um, and then that kind of shows my character, that I always try to be a blessing to others. You know what I mean? And I always try to be kind to others. You know what I mean? And not make fun of others. And I throw y'all some sauce here, right here too. Is to let go of gossiping. Just let it go. Let go of talking about others. You have to, because that's not, God doesn't like that. And that can hinder your blessings. And you don't want to hinder your blessings because then that means more tests and more trials. And it's harder to navigate through that. You know what I mean? I feel like most people get into that gossip environment and that's not even part of their character. And then they just fall victim to it. You know what I mean? So if you're in an area where people are gossiping, you know what I mean, you can remove yourself. You know what I mean? You're your own being. You know what I mean? You know who you are. You know what your values are. So if there's anything that you're surrounded by that's not getting you to where you want to go to, because let's be honest, you can get as much money as you want, You can get as much cars as you want, the biggest house, a mansion, whatever. That's not going to change nothing because in the end, we all have to. In the end, we all going to have to speak to our Creator, and we're going to get asked and get judged on why we did the things that we did. You know what I mean? And did we try? Because, like I said, we're all sinners. You know what I mean? But what is the effort that you did to, leave your mark on this? Not even on this planet, to leave your mark onto getting into heaven. You know what I mean? Because that's our main purpose. Like, you know what I mean? Uh, we all got dreams. You know what I mean? People out there want to become artists. Musicians, you know what I mean, pharmacists, doctors, lawyers, professional athletes, you know what I mean? But that doesn't define who we really are. What defines us is how we treat others and what we do um, when we're alone. So, referring to that means integrity. So, those are the things that's going to count in the end. What are you doing for God? Because what you do for God, that's what's going to last. That's what's eternal. Everything on this earth, or the Arabic term dunya, um, what's done on this dunya, it's temporary. Everything is temporary on this planet. Everything. You know what I mean? What's going to last in the end is your prayers, your charity, and how kind you are to others. You know what I mean? That's what's going to last at the end. You know what I mean? It don't matter if you got millions, like what you doing with that millions. It don't matter if you got 1,000 to 5,000. What are you doing with that money? You know what I mean? Are you being selfish with that money, or are you giving? It doesn't even matter if it's $1. Like give somebody something. You know what I mean? Make somebody's day because I feel like us as human beings, we tend to live through our ego too much. You know what I mean? Just certain things like people think, um, like social media is way different from reality, man. Like way different. Like how people treat people on social media is it's not it's not. I couldn't call it like human. Like that's it's really sad. I mean, it's really sad, but um, that I lost my train of thought. But uh, mm, 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 mm. I definitely lost my train of thought. Um, what I was gonna say. Uh, I lost my train of thought, so I'm gonna have to change the topic, huh? Um, so if you're watching this video, just try and make somebody's day better. You know what I mean? Just try, just a simple compliment, like you feel me? I like your shoes. You got nice hair. You know what I mean? You never know what people are thinking about. Just that simple comment or compliment can change the course of somebody's day and even their lives. You know what I mean? Check on your loved ones, check on your parents. You know what I mean? Because we all not gonna, we all have that set date and time. You know what I mean? Where we're gonna leave this planet. So you want to make sure you're doing the best you can to gain God's pleasure and uh, not be overwhelmed and consumed by your desires. You know what I mean? Because us as human beings, we all have desires. You know what I mean? Everybody has different control over their desires. You know what I mean? And it's hard, but that's something that we all have to work on as human beings if we want to get to where we want to get to. You know what I mean? And I got two other words that us as human beings have to truly work on is judging others. So I can just start on that. It's it goes back to gossiping. You know what I mean? We shouldn't judge nobody. You know what I mean? Nobody is perfect. You know what I mean? We all have, we are all made beautiful in God's eyes. You know what I mean? There's only one creator and he all created us the same, no matter what our skin tone is, you know. Um, don't judge others. You know what I mean? The judging should be left for God and only God. You know what I mean? It's way beyond us. Who are we to judge people? Because we're not perfect. We do dumb stuff. We sin. We do, you know what I mean? So that's another thing that lowers, like, basically all these things that I'm saying are ways to, increase your vibration and not lower your vibration. You know what I mean? Because I know we all you have been around people where you get around them and you feel energized, and then you have some people where you get around and it kind of zaps your energy. You know what I mean? And you don't want to be zapped out. Not in these days. Not in these days. You do not want to be zapped out. You know what I mean? There's too much stuff going on in this world to not have a high frequency. You know what I mean? Just to throw some 2 cents in there. Ways to increase your vibration is, yes, obviously praying, thinking about God. Those are the best two. Reading, meditating, being in the sun. What I'm doing right now. We all need the sun. It don't matter what skin color you are, too. We all need the sun. Uh, Exercising, going for a walk, uh, obviously eating fruits and vegetables. You know what I mean? Limiting your screen time will help improve your vibration as well too. Um, and just focusing on your breathing. That's actually another form of meditating. Um, because we're also consumed with our daily lives. You know what I mean? And we get zapped throughout that, just working or, chasing your dream or whatnot. It's very time consuming and it drains your energy. You know what I mean? So you have to set time aside, even if it's 5 to 10 to 15 minutes, and build on it to increase your vibration and increase your battery. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people out, like a lot of people in this world are experiencing burnout and don't even know because they don't take that time to work on their inner selves. They're so focused on what's going on the outside about gossiping or judging others or what they're doing or what she's doing or let me watch their story, and they don't put that time away to focus on themselves. You know what I mean? Uh, Another thing is I just said judging. I forgot what the other thing was. Judging and grudges. You gotta let the grudges go. You know what I mean? If you're watching this, you need to apologize to, you feel me, everybody you've ever done wrong, everybody you've done lied to, anything that you've done that was negative to somebody, because that will open up your heart and your being, and you will feel, a dopamine and cortisol rush off of that, because forgiving others and letting go of your pride and ego will, help you get closer to um, what you want to achieve in this life and the next. Because if you hold a grudge, it kind of like, it just hardens your heart. You know what I mean? And living in this life with a hardened heart is just not, it's not healthy for us. You know what I mean? Because you know, us humans, we wouldn't want God to hold a grudge on us. You know what I mean? We want God to carry us throughout life. You know what I mean? But how can we do that? But how can we do that and we hold a grudge towards some of His creations? You know what I mean? So those are another two things to basically, like, I want to say the main way to navigate throughout life is to let go of the negative feelings, negative vibrations, negative actions, and try your best to hone in on doing something, not something, doing just moving throughout life with positivity. You know what I mean? Just a simple smile to somebody can be charity. You know what I mean? Um, and just you don't always have to retaliate to everybody. You know what I mean? Uh, us as men, we're like it's a social norm to um, it's a social norm to show that you're tougher than others. You know what I mean? I feel like it's to a certain extent. You know what I mean? If nobody touches you, you know what I mean. Nobody harms your family. Then if it's anything else other than that, then you should build a composure to not retaliate to everything that comes your way and that's negative. You know what I mean? There's a lot of arrogant and ignorant people out there that's going to do you wrong. You know what I mean? Everybody out here has been done wrong. You know what I mean? But how you react to it is a test from God. You know what I mean? He already knows what you're gonna do, but he's just sitting there watching. I'm just watching. Okay, what is he going to do? You know what I mean? Is he going to let anger overtake him, or is he going to just let it go? A lot of times when you let stuff go, you know what I mean, and show that you're the bigger person, it can take you so far in life. You know what I mean? And that goes back to honoring and living, uh, honoring your last name. It goes back to honoring your last name. You know what I mean? You don't want to embarrass your family by a simple action that you made because you was angry. You know what I mean? We all experience negative vibrations, negative feelings, and whatnot, but we can't afford to sit in those feelings. You know what I mean? Because when we sit in those feelings, we tend to, like I said earlier, we tend to do things that we wouldn't do in a composed state. So that's really important for our being. Um, um, I would have to say, those are the main things how I, navigate throughout my life. You know what I mean? I always remind myself that I'm blessed. Um, I always try to look at the brighter side, and one of the main things that also help us is being in the present moment. We tend to, you know, look back at the past, missing like the good times, or just look too far ahead in the future. You know what I mean? The past is gone. The past is gone. You know what I mean? In the future, we just have to trust our Creator and make sure that we uh, control the present moment. Control our thoughts, control our actions, control our mood, control the energy that we're putting out. Um, and I feel like if you're able to, keep honing in and perfecting that craft, then there's no limit to what type of human being that you can become. And another thing is to live every day as if it's your last. If you live every day as if it's your last, you're going to start carrying yourself a certain way. You know what I mean? There's things that you're not going to do. And there's things that you're going to be more focused on. You know what I mean? Uh, so when you approach life like that, it's a lot easier to count your blessings and get to where you want to get to in life. But the last thing I want to say is, um, as I got older, um, as I got older, uh, you know what I mean? Just growing up, I always used to just look at sports as, this is my life. You know what I mean? This is all I got. You know what I mean? But when I got older, I started to realize, you know what I mean, life is more realer than sports. You know what I mean? I had opportunities here and there, and I still have an opportunity out there. You know what I mean? To get to that level where I want to get to, but at the same time, it's these times has gotten me closer to God. You know what I mean? That's what really matters. You know what I mean? God uses certain situations and people, you know, and obstacles to get you closer to Him. Now, everybody isn't able to see things that way. Everybody wants this. I'm not gonna say everybody. A lot of people want this. A lot of people want that. A lot of people want this. But if you're not ready to receive those blessings, then you're going to keep getting tested and tested and tested and tested. You know what I mean? And you're either going to run out of time or you're going to pass the test. You know what I mean? So, uh, just getting older and maturing and just realizing, there's way more to life than just materials and money and, what type of house you live in and whatnot. It's actually got me to become more of a man. Um, and it's helped me realize that our true sole purpose on this earth is to worship God, and the way how you carry yourself should represent that God's breath is inside of you, because that's how we were made. God, our spirit is made out of God's breath. You know what I mean? So that's our purpose in life. Our purpose is not to become a doctor, a pharmacist, you feel me, professional athlete. That's not our purpose. Our purpose is to use God's um what's the word I'm looking for? Use God's favor that He's put upon your life to touch others. You know what I mean? And do it in a humble way. Just because he or she or myself, just because I know more than somebody or know more somebody in a certain subject, doesn't mean that I should belittle others. You know what I mean? Because that's not kind in God's eyes either. You know what I mean? So just our sole purpose of worshiping God and being kind to others and treating others with respect and giving charity. That is our sole purpose on this earth. You know what I mean? Our sole purpose is not to collect materials, not to collect money. You know what I mean? Yeah, God offers that type of stuff to certain people. You know what I mean? But just because somebody gets this amount of money or gets this or gets that doesn't mean that God has chosen that person. You know what I mean? God can use that as a means to see how he's going to carry himself or herself. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be completely honest. A lot of people get that type of stuff and become arrogant, and I constantly ask God to please don't let me become like the people who've been arrogant. Because if it doesn't matter what religion you are, in whichever holy book, it speaks about people who've denied and disobeyed God and got destroyed. You know what I mean? And I constantly ask God to not let me be of the people who, didn't believe in Him. You know what I mean? Because, shoot, that's really all we got. That's really all that's carrying me. You know what I mean? I know I'm pretty sure people know. These times are hard. You know what I mean? These times are hard, but at the same time, as long as you have God in your life, as long as you have Allah in your life, you know what I mean, you will find a way. He will find a way for you to get to where you need to get to. You know what I mean? And if you don't accomplish what you want to accomplish in life, then I guarantee you, if you never lose your faith, if you never lose your iman in the afterlife, you are going to receive eternal blessings, and that's what we should really focus on: is receiving eternal blessings. But hopefully this can resonate with somebody and help them get closer to becoming a better human being. And if it doesn't matter if it touches just one person, that's enough. You know what I mean? So If you stayed and watched this whole time, please, no, my bad. If you stayed and watched this whole thing, I appreciate you. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, because I have to start posting more, because it's a lot of stuff that can, help people, if it's with athletes or anybody, just working out, getting their body to look better. Summer coming up, and just advice on, navigating throughout life. Appreciate y'all.